Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us here on KREM 2 News at noon. I'm Laura Papetti. And let's head outside and talk to Thomas Patrick, talk about weather. Thomas, tell us everything. What do you know?
Well, Laura, the sunshine looks great. Feels great. It kind of takes the edge off of a cool but average November day. And our current temperatures have hit the mid 40s here. And actually, I thought that was going to be the highs, but actually just bump up our forecast by a couple degrees here. Not bad at all. A very unbothersome forecast. Don't have to worry about any weather hazards for several days here. Kind of find ourselves in a nice quiet spot. This was the cold front that passed through, what was it, like a day and a half ago? And now things are mostly clear. These are mostly fair weather cumulus clouds that I'm seeing on the satellite. And of course, from my own vantage point from our outdoor weather center. So I go a high of 44 again. I probably will bump that up to about 46 or 47 now that I just got that noon information in seconds ago here. So not bad whatsoever. But what's going to happen for Thanksgiving week could be a completely different story. What you see here is the temperature outlook, a lot of blue. That would be colder than average. But the average high temperature is just 39 degrees next week. So it's going to be in the 30s next week. So coming up, this is what I'm going to detail for you. When does that happen? How does that affect Thanksgiving itself? What does the travel conditions look like, especially if there could be some snow around the region? So those are the details I'm already starting to get together, and I'll have the latest on that extended forecast coming up.
Today, we are getting a closer look at some new plans for the I-90 and US 95 interchange in Coeur d'Alene. So let's take a look at what the area looks like right now. Idaho Transportation Department saying if they don't change something here, traffic in this area could start backing up along I-90. So here's a look at what they are proposing. You're looking at a bridge over Appleway on US 95. With this redesign, you won't be able to get to Appleway directly from the highway. So taking a look here, you can see driving west, the plan would be to use Fruitland Lane. On the east side, the state is deciding between a new city street or redoing traffic lights on the streets that are already there. So some folks sharing their frustrations and some concerns with the project last night. They said they're concerned about having access to things like the grocery store and the hospital.
Obviously, every bit of feedback can't be accommodated, but just the collective voice of the community to make sure that we're delivering a project that reflects the community.
So ITD said they went back to the drawing board after an open house in March. They found the only solution was indeed the bridge. So if you would like to share your thoughts on the project, make sure you do before December 5th. We have a link on our website. You can visit us on KREM.com. Also in North Idaho, Priest River's mayor is urging Idaho's Transportation Department to delay paving along US 2. Our news partners at the Bonner County Daily Bee reporting that the city's sewer and water lines beneath the highway are leaking. Mayor Jeff Connolly warns the paving project could spring lots more leaks. Definitely do not want that. Originally scheduled for 2026. The timeline is now uncertain. The city wants funding to replace aging infrastructure first. So some good news if you're maybe house hunting. The housing market is looking up for the year ahead. The National Association of Realtors projects home sales will jump 14% nationwide, with prices rising about 4%. Experts say steady demand and possibly lower mortgage rates could also be helping buyers. Realtors in Kootenai and Shoshone counties also say the markets are strong and stable. All right, Spokane's West Hills neighborhood is bracing for the addition of 30 new tiny homes. It's a part of a transitional housing pilot project that was proposed over the summer. So these homes will be located right off Government Way and Sunset Highway. The project is called New Roots Tiny Home Village. The Spokane City Council selected Compassionate Addiction Treatment as the project operator. And the city says the project is designed for those who are on a pathway out of homelessness. In particular, those who have demonstrated engagement in stabilization services. The chance to live in these tiny homes will be by referral only.
I think that that's great. I think that's a very good start. It would be awesome too if there was like check-ins along the way, where there wasn't a comfortability where you can just backtrack, that there's continual accountability.
So right now there is not a definitive timeline for when the project will be completed, but the hope is sooner rather than later. So we'll keep you updated. Tonight, the Sandpoint City Council will decide to amend a non-discrimination ordinance brought forward by the mayor, Jeremy KREM. So this started because a lifeguard at the Lighthouse YMCA says she saw a semi-dressed man in the women's locker room showers. The YMCA says its locker rooms follow the city's non-discrimination ordinance. Our news partners at the Bonner County Daily Bee saying amending the ordinance would bring the city more in line with state and federal regulations. Under current Idaho law, in specific places like schools, people have to use restrooms consistent with their gender at birth. Tonight's meeting is coming up at 5:30. This is coming in new today. Idaho Senator Jim Risch and Mike Crapo are asking for more seasonal worker visas. More than 30 senators from both sides of the aisle signed a letter to the Department of Homeland Security and Department of Labor asking them to release more H-2B visas. These allow people from other countries to work non-agricultural jobs here. Right now, Congress has a cap of 66,000 per year. Our news partners at the Bonner County Daily Bee saying many of the applications for these visas in Idaho are for forestry workers, construction, landscaping, and packers.